Layoffs can make it feel as if your entire life is reduced to applying for jobs and getting rejected like the next day and then dealing with that rejection. But can we, for a quick second, just talk about support? And I'm talking about the support that protects your energy. I'm talking about the support that keeps you going and reminds you that you're not alone. In this video, I just want to share what that type of support could look like. And not just from like my people, but in ways that anyone can offer or receive. And I'm hoping that for anyone who has gone through a layoff, whether it's a layoff or breakup, any type of setback in your life, I hope that this video just reminds you of like the power of the people who show up for you. When I lost my job, I thought the hardest part would be just dealing with financial stress. And this was me thinking ahead because I did receive a severance and I do have savings that I'm able to dip into to pay my mortgage, to pay my bills. But I was thinking ahead like, oh my gosh, if I don't get a job before these things run out, what am I going to do? Like, how am I paying all the things? In that moment at the beginning, because I had a little cushion and I was very privileged in that sense to have something to kind of fall back on, finances was definitely in my mind, but just waking up to constant rejection was low-key wearing me down. The world doesn't slow down. Like, responsibilities are here to stay and not going anywhere at all. And I feel like everyone's response, everyone's advice, and I've given this advice as well, is to update your resume, like, use ChatGPT, use AI to tailor your resume in certain ways. People are sharing stories about like the networking that they've done that may have worked, or, you hear just the general advice to just continue to apply because something will come to fruition, right? And I believe in that. And again, I've given this same advice as well. But what I realized is that can put you in a cycle where you feel the need to like produce and like prove yourself in a way. It's like, okay, what have you done this week? Which is important because if you're going to get a job, like, you need to do the work on the back end. So I understand that as well. And I'll talk about this a little bit in a previous video where there is some guilt that comes with enjoying yourself or relaxing while being unemployed. That's why the support that really mattered the most looked a little different. And a lot of it came from my boyfriend, who in so many ways noticed what I needed before I even knew what I needed. And this showed up in a lot of practical ways. So for example, this mic that I'm speaking into, he knew that I wanted to start a YouTube. I don't know if it's something that he knew that I was interested in for a while, but I did show interest and I made a joke and I was like,
hey, do you want to buy my mic for me?
And if y'all know me, you know that I'm super independent. It was a joke. Like, I always buy things that I need for myself. When I want it, I just get it, right? I made the joke and he was like,
okay, cool, I'll get it for you.
But then he took it a step further and did some research, like found a really, really good mic and made that investment, which made me it just meant so much in this moment because it's like, it's him saying, I believe in you, you can do this. And that type of support through action, it means a lot during this time, especially during this time. So besides that, like, just supporting and encouraging like my Etsy designs. And when I was like,
hey, I'm going to make a guided layoff journal specifically for people who were laid off,
he was like,
okay.
And then I sent him, he was like the first person that I was like sending drafts to, and he like read it all. And anyway, it's just nice to get that support through action. That support showed up in, I would say, deeper ways as well on a day-to-day basis. Like, I've talked about this before in previous videos where being laid off, it's a very emotional roller coaster. And so there were some days where I was like good, and some days where you're just like, yo, what is my life? What am I doing? Like, where is this going? And on those days where he peeps like, yo, okay, she's not 100% herself, like he just took it upon himself to do things like take care of our kid, like, let me sleep in, take her to her grandparents' house, and just let me like have an afternoon to myself. He always asked me like, hey, how are you doing? How are you really, really doing? And just giving me the space that I needed to share. Did I share all the time? Probably not. Probably not. But it was nice to, and it is nice to just be given the space to like breathe and really share what's on your mind. There was no pressure, he never asked me for no job updates. Being gifted like mental space is a big deal. And I want to practice that more. I think that I can sometimes approach things from okay, how do we fix this? How do we just get through it? And how do we move on to the next thing in a sense? And sometimes all people need is just a space to be. They need their energy to like be protected, and they need that to be renewed so they can keep going and keep breathing. So yeah, but support doesn't always have to look like that. And it does not always have to come from a partner. Sometimes it just comes from a friend who is sending you all the funny memes and sending you those texts, just checking in like, hey girl, are you okay? Are you good? I can't tell you the amount of times that I've received like a text in the perfect timing, and it like made me crack up so hard and made me laugh during a moment where I was like crying right before. It just makes you feel seen, and it's like a good reminder that you don't have to carry all that weight by yourself. You know what I mean? What has given me the most hope during this journey so far is when people are like, hey, like I see you and I got you. And that type of presence makes all the difference in like how we survive whatever setbacks that we are going through. Keep note of the people who are giving you energy, like making that space for you, reminding you that you are more than your situation. If you're supporting someone else, it does not need to look like a grand gesture. It looks like small check-ins, like the simplest just acts of being present. And again, I need to remember this and just do better in terms of how I'm supporting people in my life going forward. I want to hear from you. Like, who has been that support in your life, or who have you supported in those smallest ways that just really, really matter? Share it in the comments. I think those stories are just as significant as job offers and any other win. So looking forward to reading whatever you share. Take care. Bye.